Well, it's an awesome day indeed because I just got my JamSync to MIDI clock cable and I'm going to show you how to use it with the Digitech SDRUM right now. Hey there, it's Scott at the Pedal Guy. How you doing? Well, we're all about pedal demos, pedal knowledge, and pedal sales. I love pedals, and so do you. In this video, I'm going to show you how to sync up the Digitech SDRUM to any device that receives MIDI clock. And we're going to do this by making use of this really awesome cable I just got from Delay Dude. It just arrived today, and essentially it is a JamSync to MIDI clock cable. Now, you can actually make this cable yourself if you want to, but I just don't have the time to make cables. So I went ahead and brought one in, and it worked like a charm. And I can't wait to show this to you. What is the big feature though about this? Well, basically it's this. In this case, I'm going to be using it with a Headrush Pedalboard. And the great benefit of doing this is that I'll be able to sync up all of the fantastic effects that are the tempo-based effects that are inside the Headrush Pedalboard along with the Digitech SDRUM tempo. And that way it's all locked in together and it sounds like a real band. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now before we get to syncing up here, what I want to show you very quickly is how I am connecting the SDRUM to the Headrush. Okay, it's a very simple connection, but it's one that you should definitely get under your thumbs because you can apply this to any other multi-effects processor that you're going to try this with, okay? So first and foremost, the guitar input, you want that to be a clean input. So I'm going straight from my guitar right to the guitar input. From there, I'm going mixer out, left and right, so I'm sending a stereo drum mix off to my mixing board. And I'm also using the amp output. And the amp output is sending a mono guitar signal over to the Headrush. So if I swivel the camera over here a little bit, you can now see the guitar input going into the Headrush. And it's a little hard to see, but I'm using the headphone output on the Headrush that's going back to my mixing board. That way I'm going to have a clear, separate mix between the SDRUM and the Headrush. And that should give you a pretty good idea of how this all works. But at this point now, all we have to do is simply connect the JamSync cable up to the MIDI input of the Headrush. And that's very simple to do. We just simply go from the JamSync output, which is right here, and we just take it to the back of the Headrush, the MIDI in, which is right there if you can see it, okay? And once that's done, essentially at this point, the connections have been made. Sorry, I'm playing with the camera here a little bit, but I'm trying to give you the most accurate depiction possible of how this works. But essentially, that's all you need to do in order to connect the two up. However, when it comes to the Headrush, there's an extra step that has to be taken. So let's go through that now. Now, if you're doing this with, like, say, a Helix or an Ampero or something else that receives a MIDI clock, you'll want to make sure that you look at those manuals. But this is how you do it with the Headrush Pedalboard. And it's so very simple. In the upper right corner, the three dots there, you want to tap on that. And what you want to do is go to Global Settings. And in the Global Settings window on the first screen, you want to make sure that Receive MIDI Clock is turned on. And that gets you halfway to the finish line. The next step is you need to go back to those three dots and go to Hardware Assign. And as you can see in the upper right corner of this rig, it's set to what's called fixed time, meaning it's the internal time inside, the internal BPM inside of the Headrush Pedalboard. But what we want to do is we want to have this signal sync to whatever tempo is coming from the SDRUM. In order to do that, what we need to do is go back to that window and instead of fixed, hit it once, and now it goes to current. And current is receiving whatever MIDI clock message is coming to the product itself. So in this case, it's the SDRUM. Now, what I'll do here to show you how this works is I'm making adjustments right now to the SDRUM tempo knob. And I'll do this with the camera pulled out too so you can see it in real time. But I'm making the adjustments to the tempo knob, and as a result, it is reflecting that in the tempo here of the Headrush Pedalboard. And that's literally how easy it is to make all of this work. So once you've done that, now all of the effects of the Headrush Pedalboard will sync up to the SDRUM tempo. And so now you've got drums and you've got effects that are syncing up together. And it just sounds so much better because you're locked in. But I want to prove the point. So let's have a listen to what that sounds like. Okay, at this point now I want to put it all together, so we're going to teach a part to the strum, and then we're going to start playing with some of the effects of the Headrush Pedalboard. Okay, so if you haven't done this before, as far as like teaching a part to the strum, just watch the videos on my YouTube channel. It'll take you from start to finish. Enough said. Let's get to it. So we got a good kick and snare there. Let's go ahead and teach a part. All right, so that's pretty righteous. That'll work. Now, if I go to the hardware sign again, there's the current tempo. Now, if I make some adjustments to the tempo of the strum, you can see that those changes are now being reflected in real time. So it's like having a real band now. I mean, it's like having a real drummer here where I can lock in. And now, if I go back out to the rig and start working with some of those tempo-based effects, I get a great sound here. So, okay, so I'll turn on the dynamic delay and you can hear it for yourself. 2, 3, 4. Turn on the phaser. Turn on that pitch delay. So hopefully you can hear and see for yourself how versatile this feature really is. So that's how you make this whole thing work. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, be sure to visit us at thepedalguy.com. But in the meantime, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly videos and tutorials. Thanks for stopping by here at thepedalguy.com, where I love pedals and so do you.